Good afternoon, everybody. The video that I'm going to be doing here today, we're going to be discussing how to test a charging system on a vehicle to ensure that it is in good shape. Example given, a customer may bring a four-wheeler in as this CF Moto, for example, the C-Force 400. They may bring this to you and tell you that the battery, every time they go to start it, they'll charge the battery, and the next day when they go to take it out again, the battery is dead. Or they'll be driving it, and after about an hour's time, it mysteriously just shuts off. So I want to explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing here, and I want to talk about this battery in particular. This battery is a 12-volt battery. Inside it, there's 6 cells. Each of these cells delivers about 2.1 volt. So with these cells connected in series, the total battery voltage is approximately 12.5 or 12.6 voltage, or 12.6 volts with the battery just sitting there unattended. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to confirm that our battery is in good shape. Now, I have this voltmeter here, and I have it set up for reading voltage. Here's my common, and here's my red. My red is for voltage, and I'm going to set my meter on the 20-volt DC scale. Obviously, batteries are direct current, not alternating current, and if you were to set this up for alternating current, you would get a very strange reading and possibly damage our meter. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to set my meter up for 20 volts DC, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the voltage and attempt to get this meter to stand up so that we can see it, and you can see my readings as I'm doing this. Okay, so red to positive and black to ground, or negative, and it is showing 12.2, 12.3 volts. It's fluctuating in that area. That's usually a pretty healthy battery. However, a fully charged battery should show about 12.5 volts or 12.5 volts. Okay, when the engine is running, our voltage should range somewhere above 13.5 volts or better. This is how we can confirm that the charging system is operating as it should. Once the engine starts up and the alternator starts generating electricity and the regulator kicks in, it's going to hold this battery at least, you want to see at least 13.5 or 13.6 volts. So once again, one last time here, before the engine is running, we're going to test, and we see we're at about 12.2. And if we start this engine up and we see the voltage jump up above 13.5, then we know that the starting system, or I'm sorry, that the charging system is good, and we've probably got a problem somewhere else. You know, maybe this customer has a bad battery, or typically a bad battery or a bad starter. But the fact that this thing starts, I'd have to say the starter's okay. So it's either a bad battery or a bad charging system. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start this up. I'm going to try to move this meter to an area where we can see it better. I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to stay put. I'll do my best once I start it, because you probably won't be able to hear me. But we're going to go ahead and start this up, and we're going to check our battery voltage. Turn my key on. As you can see, the voltage is quite well. It was well up over 13.5, and now that the engine is turned back off, you can see the voltage has fallen back down to a nominal battery voltage. Now when you see a voltage spike like that, when it first fires up, you can see the voltage was nice and high, then we know that the charging system is good. If the customer's complaining about the dead battery every time he goes to start it, now we might be looking into the possibility of having a bad battery. So this is how you test a charging system. This is how you verify that the voltage comes up when the engine's running. On an idle, sometimes it might be a little bit lower, but then once you rev it up, everything is good. The other test that you could do to test a charging system would be to, while you're hooked up and while it's running, start turning the lights and all the accessories on and see if the voltage drops below the value that you're looking for. So I'm going to do this one last time. You guys can watch the voltage, and while it's running, I will cycle some lights. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me talking. Here we are looking at battery voltage. My key's on. I'm going to start it up. So seeing that, you can tell that the charging system works well, maintaining the battery when it's running as well as when there's a load on it. And that's it.